Are you ready for your next external audit? Internal audit of your payroll can help reduce audit findings against your organization and better prepare your company for their audit. This is Stuff Employers Should Know.
Welcome to Stuff Employers Should Know, proudly brought to you by LabourNet, management's ultimate HR solution.
Hi, and welcome to another episode with Stuff Employers Should Know. This is another remote recording. Of course, this is Yasser like Ismail, your audio producer and host for the day. With me, actually not physically with me, but joining me on today's episode is Simeon Carter, our payroll manager, all the way down in Cape Town. So welcome to the show once again, Simeon. We really do appreciate you taking time out of your hectic schedule to obviously help us get this information out there. So I'm going to get things rolling. Simeon, can you tell us, what is a payroll audit?
Thanks, Yasser. So good to be back. A payroll audit is a review and check for correctness on all payroll-related information. So when we say all payroll-related information, we're looking at the employee's non-financial information, such as your bank details, identity and passport numbers, employment types, as well as date of birth. We're also then looking at financial information, such as employees' package items, so with reference to salary, fixed allowances, company contributions and deductions. We would review leave information for employees in terms of correct leave accrual, leave taken, and leave forfeiture, if a business does have any forfeiture rules set up within their payroll. Another key aspect here is the security and data privacy around protection of personal information, or POPI as we know it, and ensuring that there is a usage of a secure payroll system. So looking at company protocols such as clean desk policy and the sharing of the sensitive information as well. A payroll audit would also look at the review of statutory deductions and payments. So those payments that are due to SARS and the Department of Labour on a monthly basis, as well as salary reports and bank payments as well.
So, I mean, it's really interesting that you mentioned POPI. I've never really thought of the link between payroll processing and POPI. So that's definitely an eye-opener for me. Now, Simeon, is this not the same as a company audit with external auditors?
So a payroll audit does form a key part of a company audit and shares some related information in terms of the financial information which gets audited. It's therefore vitally important for any business to have a successful audit. The implications of not having a successful audit can lead to funding problems for certain organizations reliant on a successful audit, or reputational damage for a business. A company audit is a little bit more extensive, though, in that it includes things such as corporate governance, review of your IT policies, looks a bit deeper into the accounting side as well, and then the financial and environmental aspects, just to name but a few. And today we're going to be specifically discussing payroll audits in a bit more detail.
And then, Simon, if a company is going to have external auditors, why is there a need for an internal payroll audit as well? Is it not duplication of work?
So it probably seems like it at face value. However, an internal audit of the payroll allows a business to prepare and collate the information, allows them also the opportunity to correct any issues before the external audit is set to take place. This also then ensures that the audit does not have any audit findings or reduces those red flags that may come up in the external audit. An internal payroll audit assists a business with just ensuring accuracy in the payroll process, adherence to legislative compliance, which is critical within South Africa. And it also gives a business the opportunity to highlight any non-compliance that can be addressed. A payroll audit can provide insights into company policies and processes that require revision or amendment. And often the revision of these policies or processes can lead to efficiencies being implemented within the business. And these could have an impact on time and monetary savings for the business.
And what are some of the key factors that And what are some of the key factors that need to be considered when doing an internal payroll audit?
So just to unpack this in a bit more detail, firstly, understanding the South African payroll legislation is crucial in order to understand which aspects within the payroll environment need to be audited. Establishing an audit team is then the second step, whereby it's important to select individuals who will fulfill the audit tasks objectively. So we don't want anyone who may be biased or act subjectively in this case. And this could potentially comprise of your payroll provider if these services are offered by them. Other key items to consider are termination and severance procedures, bank reconciliation, leave and overtime records, looking at your employee classification in terms of if employees are correctly set up as full-time workers or part-time workers, or if a company or business has any independent contractors, that they are correctly loaded onto your payroll system. We'd also then look at record keeping of employee documents. So are the correct documents in employees' files in terms of things like your employment contract, pay slips, etc.
And then obviously in terms of payroll audits, what are the risks of not doing an internal payroll audit?
So we kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, and a key risk is not being prepared or ready for this external audit that most businesses have to do religiously each year. Being prepared for an audit can lead to cost savings for a company in the case where the external audit can run more smoothly and be completed quicker due to that requested documentation being on hand, or that it has just been prepared beforehand by the company and that it's actually easily accessible. Another risk is the non-compliance with the statutory bodies in South Africa, such as SARS and the Department of Labor. So often we've seen with businesses and companies as well that penalties and interest are in some cases levied when an employer is non-compliant or late with payments to statutory bodies in South Africa. So really, not doing the audit can lead to some of these non-compliance issues, which can often have financial impacts, negative financial impacts for a business. And besides this, we then have another dimension, which is the employees within the organization. So they can actually start having distrust or loss of confidence with their employer if payroll errors continue to persist, if there are inaccuracies in employees' payslips on a monthly basis.
Now, Simeon, does LabourNet offer any services in terms of a payroll audit for companies? And would this still be seen as an internal payroll audit, considering that obviously LabourNet is actually an external party? Or how would that work?
So yes, I would definitely say LabourNet can definitely assist. I think it is clear to just put a quick disclaimer in there that LabourNet is not a financial accounting auditing firm. So we are not audit experts, but what we often provide is expertise in auditing the payroll information. So our consultants and our teams nationally have a lot of experience in what to look at from a payroll compliance perspective. And those are the aspects we can look at. So we can audit the payroll financial information, ensuring bank payments match to payroll salary related reports. We can look at the leave information and ensure that is all in alignment, as well as the non-financial employee information and related documents that we touched on earlier.
Simeon, thank you so much for obviously shedding some light on payroll internal audits and obviously a few recommendations and tips. As always, we do appreciate you giving us your time and obviously for featuring on the podcast. So as always, if you want to get in touch with us, pop us an email on sesk@labournet.com. Let us know what you thought of today's episode, or let us know what you'd like to hear in future episodes. So from myself and Simeon, Cheers, and we'll see you in the next one.
Stuff Employers Should Know was proudly brought to you by LabourNet, management's ultimate HR solution. For more episodes from Stuff Employers Should Know, go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you play your favorite shows. Case law or statutes referenced in the podcast are current at the time of recording.